Tracy McGrady. McGrady on the run. McGrady down the lane. He dunked it with the right hand. Oh, my.
Went right over the top of Cornell David.
Remember when Tracy McGrady scored 13 points in just 35 seconds? The man who once made Tim Duncan look helpless? Well, what if I told you that legendary moment just made him millions of dollars? Again, in December 2024, exactly 20 years later. But here's the crazy part. That's not even the biggest news about T-Mac this year. What's up, everyone? Today we're diving deep into one of the most incredible post-NBA transformations you've probably never heard about. Tracy McGrady didn't just disappear after his basketball career ended. He built a $70 million empire, became an NFL owner, and just pulled off a business move that has everyone talking. But the journey to get there? Man, it's wilder than his playing days. Let's be real for a second. When Tracy McGrady's NBA career ended in 2013, most fans just forgot about him. One day he's dropping 62 points on the Washington Wizards at Toyota Center in Houston. The next day, he's gone. No farewell tour like Kobe, no massive retirement ceremony, just silence. But here's where it gets interesting. While everyone was wondering whatever happened to T-Mac, he was quietly building something most NBA legends only dream about. And I'm not talking about another basketball league or coaching gig. I'm talking about real wealth, real power, and real influence that goes way beyond basketball. You see, McGrady earned a reported $163 million during his 15-year NBA career. His highest single-season salary? $23.2 million with the Houston Rockets in 2009-10. But here's the kicker. The NBA money was just the foundation. What he did next is what separates him from 99% of retired athletes who go broke within 5 years. And before we get into how he multiplied that fortune, you need to hear about the phone call that changed everything. It happened in 2024, and it involved 3 words that made McGrady richer than he ever was as a player. After retirement, McGrady didn't just sit around counting his money. In 2016, he joined ESPN as an NBA analyst. Smart move, right? Steady income, staying relevant, keeping his face in front of basketball fans. But that was just his day job. Behind the scenes, McGrady was making moves that would make your head spin. In August 2021, he launched something called Solicio. And no, that's not a typo. It's an app designed to sell autographed shoes, trading cards, and sports memorabilia directly to fans. While other retired players were doing autograph signings at local malls, McGrady was thinking digital, thinking scalable, thinking smart. But wait, it gets better. Remember how I mentioned he briefly played professional baseball? From April to July 2014, McGrady actually pitched for the Sugarland Skeeters of the Atlantic League. The man literally lived out his childhood dream while building his post-basketball empire. That's the kind of fearless mindset that separates winners from everyone else. Then came the Ones Basketball League, OBL. McGrady didn't just invest in this, he created it from scratch. A one-on-one basketball tournament that tours 7 cities from April to July every year. Self-funded, over 18 league, designed to give undiscovered talent a platform. This wasn't about nostalgia, this was about innovation. But all of these ventures? They were just practice runs for what happened on December 11th, 2024. That's the day Tracy McGrady officially joined the Billionaire Boys Club. Not as a player, but as an owner. December 11th, 2024, Irving, Texas, NFL winter meetings. That's when the announcement dropped that shocked the sports world. Tracy McGrady, along with his cousin Vince Carter and soccer star Josie Altidore, became minority owners of the Buffalo Bills. Let me break this down for you because the numbers are insane. The Buffalo Bills are worth $5.08 billion according to Sportico. McGrady and his group purchased about 11% of the team. Do the math. We're talking about a deal worth over $500 million total. But here's what makes this deal so brilliant. McGrady, Carter, and Altidore all have Toronto connections. McGrady and Carter played for the Raptors. Altidore played for Toronto FC. The Bills are strategically targeting the Southern Ontario market, and these three are the perfect ambassadors. Over 15% of the Bills' season ticket holders come from Southern Ontario. That's not a coincidence, that's genius business strategy. And get this is the first time in Buffalo Bills franchise history that minority owners have been added. Terry and Kim Pegula, who bought the team for $1.4 billion in 2014, had never shared ownership until now. They chose McGrady's group over other investors, including one who McGrady described as crazy loaded but lacking character and integrity. But the timing of this deal? There's something almost poetic about it that connects directly to McGrady's most famous moment. And when you hear the connection, you'll understand why this man is operating on a completely different level. December 9th, 2024, exactly 20 years after Tracy McGrady scored 13 points in 35 seconds against the San Antonio Spurs. What does McGrady do? He relaunches his 13N35 brand in partnership with Alibaba's 88V IP. Let me paint this picture for you. December 9th, 2004, Toyota Center, Houston. The Rockets are down 8 points to the Spurs with 35 seconds left. Game over, right? Wrong. McGrady proceeds to hit 4 3-pointers, including a 4-point play over Tim Duncan, and wins the game with 1.7 seconds on the clock. We were down 2, and the only thing I could think of was a 3-pointer. I felt like anything I threw up was going in, McGrady said after the game. Fast forward exactly 20 years. McGrady posts on Instagram. 20 years ago, I scored 13 points in 35 seconds, and today I launched my brand 13N35. Thank you to everyone who has been inspired. I did it for you. The 13N35 brand isn't just merchandise, it's a lifestyle brand that embodies perseverance and peak performance. The initial product? A bag that's smaller than a normal bag but larger than a fanny pack, designed to hold essentials like wallets, keys, and phone chargers. Simple concept, massive potential market. This is brand building at its finest. McGrady took his most iconic moment and turned it into a business empire. While other athletes try to recapture past glory, McGrady is using his past to build his future. But the 13N35 brand and Buffalo Bills ownership are just the tip of the iceberg. McGrady's business portfolio reads like a masterclass in diversification. He's invested in Nasdaq, a tech company in Washington, D.C. Smart move. Getting into technology early while other athletes are still buying restaurants and nightclubs. He's also part owner of Blue 04, a water business in Florida. Essential products, recurring revenue, growing market. Then there's his ownership stake in the Biloxi Shuckers, a minor league baseball team. Remember, this is the same guy who actually pitched professionally. He's not just writing checks, he understands the business from the inside out. McGrady has also invested in Prize Picks, which is now the biggest independently operated daily fantasy sports platform in North America. And don't forget about 7-1 Sports Group and Entertainment, which he launched with his close friend Jermaine O'Neal. The result? A net worth of $70 million that continues to grow every year. But here's what most people miss. McGrady isn't just building wealth, he's building legacy and representation. And that brings us to the real reason why McGrady's story matters more than just money and business deals. It's cool to be investing in an NFL franchise, but this is inspiring to so many people that look like us, McGrady said during a Zoom call in December 2024. This is a barometer for us to do our jobs and be a stand-in for the next phase of ownership, whether it's minority, whether it's majority, whether it's an individual. Only 8% of principal owners and limited partners in the NFL are people of color. McGrady, Carter, and Altidore are changing that narrative. They're not just making money, they're opening doors and creating opportunities for the next generation. McGrady's approach to business isn't just about profit margins and market share. It's about character, integrity, and representation. When he talks about wanting to see more minority-majority owners in professional sports, you can hear the passion in his voice. At 45 years old, married to Clarenda Harris with 3 children, McGrady is building something that will last long after his 13 points in 35 seconds are forgotten. He's proving that athletes can be more than just entertainers. They can be owners, innovators, and leaders. So, what happened to Tracy McGrady? He did what every smart athlete should do, but most never figure out. He took his platform, his earnings, and his connections, and he built an empire that has nothing to do with how high he could jump or how many points he could score. From Celestial to the Buffalo Bills, from 13 N35 to multiple tech investments, McGrady has shown that the second act can be even better than the first. And honestly, I think he's just getting started. If this story inspired you or taught you something new about building wealth beyond your main career, smash that like button and subscribe for more incredible athlete transformation stories. Trust me, you don't want to miss what we're covering next week.